Hey guys, it's Dandy. So today I thought it would be fun to give you like a full flip through. I'll get it out eventually. A full flip through of my 2023 Hobonichi weeks. Now that it's 99.9% completed for the year. The only other thing I'm really gonna add to it is like a page for New Year's and a page for visiting my grandparents this Saturday for kind of like a late Christmas thing. But by the time we do that, this video will probably be uploaded. So yeah, so I got this like champagne color, I think was what it was called. I don't remember. It's a nice color. I don't know the full lineup that they had for 2023 because I got mine in July. Impulsively, I had a gift card and I was like, I do want to try the weeks, and then I got the weeks and now I love it. So not a bad purchase. So yeah, what you'll notice about this book is that my entries start in the very 1st of July rather than at the very beginning of the actual book. But yeah, so let's just get into it. So this is kind of what my cover looks like. This is a sticker from one of my like favorite artists ever, Fog Barrow. It's 3 people and they all do really cool art and I just love what they do. A little quote, paranormal investigator. I just like to put stickers on stuff. I did take a Sharpie to it and filled in the year with black just because I didn't like the gold on gold very much. I did get one of these plastic covers, of course. That's where I keep my stencil. I was so glad that this was a perfect fit. It's just the right size, literally, which is cool. I don't use the actual shapes very much. So let's see, there's a bunch of different ones. I don't really use those much. Sometimes the star or one of these rectangles over here. I mostly just use it as like to hold my pen steady when I'm drawing straight lines or something like that. It's useful either way. I did have these, they're A5 card holders things. Here, let me show you. So they look like this. This is my card binder where I keep a bunch of stuff in, but they look like this, and I just cut it in half, and then I trimmed the top just a little bit so it could fit, because I like to keep cards with me. And this obviously isn't a card, but it's still in here. And then I just put those down with washi tape and I put some cards in. And I will probably just transfer these over since I did just put them in with washi tape. I'm going to transfer these over into my weeks for 2024 as well. And this is where I keep this cool Shigaraki card and then my clown nude stickers in this little flap here. And this is the, I don't know what page this is, the intro page, where it's got the Hobonichi Techo 2023 weeks. This all came like later, like last night kind of vibe, because I realized I never used these and I wanted to put more stuff on the page. Same here. This is my monthlies. Again, I didn't get it till July, so there's not a lot here, pretty bare bones and minimal. I wanted to, when I started this this planner, I wanted to do it as minimally as possible, but I'm not a very minimal person, and you'll see that more and more as we flip through, because I just get more and more crazy with the deco. September, October, last month in November, it's my favorite one, I think, and then December. I haven't decorated January, but I have wrote stuff down so I can transfer it to my new one. And then now we're getting into the weeks pages, and again, I did not start this thing until July. So this is my first weeks page. Again, very bare bones, minimal. I didn't know really what I wanted to do over here. I just knew I wanted to track something, and I knew I wanted a to-do list for the week. This is from a local shop that has unfortunately closed down, and I'm so sad about it, but that's what that's from. And then a stamp from the Smokies, because we had just been to the Great Smoky Mountains this weekend, and the last weekend of June, and the beginning of July. So when I got home, this was waiting for me, which was cool. I don't know if I'll talk about every single page that, every single week spread, but I'll flip kind of slow so you can check it out. Really, this is me still trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. I did know I wanted to keep the week side over here, like the days, for like sort of like memory keeping, to kind of keep up with how I was feeling or what I was doing during the day. And that ended up evolving later too, just because sometimes I don't feel like there's enough in my day to justify a whole daily page itself, but this is just enough for me to write a little bit, and I still have my habits and my to-do list for the week too, because I am a lot more week oriented in the fact that it just depends on my mood for the day whether I feel like doing what. And if I have just a basic list of the things I need to do in general, then I find that I get them done a little easier when I don't pressure myself to do it on a certain day unless it absolutely has to be done on that day. And yeah, I see I'm kind of getting in the swing of things here. Definitely decorating more. This is a sticker from a bookstore that we go to. Yeah, my habits, still keeping track over here. This was a little message that I got from my sibling, and I just really liked it, so I printed it out and stuck it in here. This was my first time using blue. Usually, well, I used to not be a very big fan of the color blue, but it's growing on me more and more, which is cool because everybody else that I know loves blue, so I'm glad I'm starting to like it a little more. This was also one of my favorite weeks pages just because it's bears and dinosaurs, and that's like two of my favorite things in the world. Sometimes I would just take stickers from during the day, things that I got, and I would just stick that in there. This was the first week that I added this little column over here, which originally I had started tracking weather with it, but where I live, the weather's not super different very often, so I just found that it was kind of pointless for me. I did start keeping track of the temperature itself, and I still do this too, you'll notice. So then this next week is when I started doing my clown mood stickers, because I feel like tracking my mood is a lot more important to me than tracking the weather, because some weeks it's hard for me to remember how I was feeling on certain days, and it's nice to just have that so where I can look back and I can understand what was going on at the time, because, you know, with my autism, sometimes it's a little hard to understand what makes me feel like what, or why I felt like this, or it could be 2 weeks later and I could be like, well, why was I feeling bad? I don't know if that makes any sense, but I hope it does. It's just really helpful for me as somebody that has memory problems and somebody that's autistic in general, to kind of make myself understand the way I was feeling that week or that day. This is my first of two Tomura Shigaraki spreads, because I love that guy very much. He's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. This is from Barnes & Noble, of course. Still keeping track with my clowns. Some days I forget to write the weather, and that's okay. Some days I just was not feeling very good in general, whether it was I was tired or I was upset. I try to write how I'm feeling, but some days it's just I don't even have the motivation to open my book, kind of thing. Like this week was pretty bad for that too, but it was dinosaurs, so it wasn't all bad. I forgot to write the weather several times, and then these are just blank. And then it was Halloween week, so it's very orange. This is the only orange highlighter I have, or it probably wouldn't have been so fluorescent. I got sick this day, so there's nothing really for that, which is okay, you know. I was really anxious that day, and I didn't have an anxious clown, which now I want to make an anxious clown, so I drew one. This is my Mahito spread. I love that guy. Controversial opinion. I really love Mahito. He's one of my favorite characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. But yeah, see, I didn't write anything these days. I must have just been busy. I didn't feel very good, obviously. I wish I had written like something small just to kind of give myself context. That's something I'm going to try to be better about next year. But I drew my own mojito there in the blank space just to kind of fill it in. You can tell where I was doing pretty bad about certain tasks. That's usually when you can tell I've had a pretty rough week, because see, a lot of these are just blank. I was so exhausted. Alright, that kind of just tells you where I was at. And this week I kind of bounced back a little bit, which is cool to see, like a full spread like this and it just being a bunch of words. I kept on top of this stuff, and most of my things are clicked off right here, or checked off right here, which is very nice to see too. I was trying to get back into my language learning, which I do fall off again, but I just yesterday started my Duolingo streak again, so hopefully I can keep it up a little longer this time. This is also one of my favorite spreads. I really love the coffee and green and sweets and stuff, and the brown. And then this is getting into December, so we're already at our December pages. Getting on track of things again. I have a bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas stickers, and I haven't used many of them, so I was trying to use some for Christmas, but I had these dinosaurs that were pretty festive, and I thought they were too cute to not use. And then this is this week. I'm recording the video today. So, yeah. And while I'm at it, I did drink water already. I washed my hair this morning. I did some art yesterday before I went to bed. Special interest done. And I did start learning my language today and yesterday. I did take my vitamin yesterday. And then I'll take it later for when I eat. But I haven't eaten yet, and I don't want to check that off in case I forget. And then now, these are my notes pages. So, when I first got my weeks, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my notes pages. So, it kind of starts out as like an extra commonplace book kind of thing. I had a key. Obviously, I didn't really know what I wanted to put in this one specifically. I made a socials tracker, which is pretty cool. This has come in handy. I've moved it to my new one as well. I've just changed it a little bit, if I can find it. So it's not in my notes pages, but it's still somewhere I can see. If you guys want to see like me setting this up, I do have a video of that as well. I've added a few more stickers since then, but yeah. So then here's my first few commonplace pages that obviously you can kind of tell that I wasn't super into it. I was trying to plan some trips. Video idea list, which honestly I should probably go back and look through that. Stuff for my Etsy that I had planned, a shopping list, cities that I think would be cool to go to, supplies for Etsy, things that overwhelm me, extra ideas for commonplacing tags. I don't remember the context for that, but that is pretty interesting. I think I was thinking of it for my field notes and stuff. And then, see, I completely gave up on indexing it and putting the dots there for, like, the rest of this. And then I put this little tab where my new notes pages started. I need to tape that. I didn't realize it had ripped. But, yeah, so then I started my sort of diary, sort of memory keeping. It's bigger pages for bigger days or events that happen, kind of thing. You'll see what I mean in a second. So I started out with like a cover page for the month, so this is for October, and then so this is what a page in general would look like for these notes pages. So this is just kind of talking about me hyperfixating on Shigaraki mostly at the time, but I was talking about like my feelings when I'm hyperfixating on something. And then this was a Halloween paint date that I had with some of my very dear friends, and I love them very much. I had started writing on these pages, keeping this as like a margin like you would use on notebook paper, like the red margins. And I found that didn't really work for me for things like this, just because I really don't have any notes that I need to write in the margin or anything. And you'll see me like wean myself out of that eventually. This was a trip to a local amusement park with my little sibling, and it was a lot of fun. This was on a photo booth, and I scanned it and I shrunk it down a little bit so it could fit better in this, and I just kind of taped it as like a flap. We went on Friday the 13th, and this was us on the roller coaster that I really love. So just some more pictures I printed out. This was a convention we went to. This was the wristband that we wore during the day. This was our Halloween party that we had this year, and then this was the start of November. I was kind of really sad with November this year because it's usually my favorite month of the year, but it just seemed to not be going as well as I hoped it would. I only have 3 entries total for November, which is okay. No big deal. You can see the difference I was talking about on this page. So on this page, I was still trying to keep it with this as like a margin, and I know it is a margin, but I was still trying to keep it like I was writing on notebook paper, I guess. And then this page, I kind of just didn't care about it, and I feel like it turned out looking so much better. This is just my general thoughts on November because it is my favorite month usually. And this was our Thanksgiving. This is my grandma. One of my grandmas, my mom's mom. She usually doesn't celebrate holidays, so it was really special that she wanted to come spend Thanksgiving with us. I'm usually not a big fan of Thanksgiving just because unfortunately, I'm not a very big food person. But yeah, Thanksgiving was also a very important day for Jujutsu Kaisen anime fans. I don't want to spoil it if you guys don't know what happens, but the ones that do know, and I'm sorry, I love Mahito very much. This was when I went shopping with my mom for Black Friday. It was technically Sunday, but we wanted to go shopping together anyway because it's something we don't get to do super often. So I just kind of talked about that and some things I found. And then this is the start of my December pages. I really like the way this one turned out. I went with kind of like a darker Christmas, darker December aesthetic, kind of like Krampus, Yule related stuff. I thought this gingerbread cookie was cute. The second day of December was awesome because that day was how usually my Novembers are. But we had a drought this November, so there wasn't really any rain or fog or any pretty days like that this November, but I was so thankful that I got it at the very 1st of December at least. And then this was when my best friend Dylan came over. This was me talking about how, wow, it's crazy that it's already Christmas. This was some wrapping paper I used for my friends and family's gifts. And then this is when my best friend came over again and we all decorated cookies together with my sibling. And this is when I started playing Pokemon Arceus. Technically my first Pokemon game I've ever played. Technically. I had Gale of Darkness XD on technically the GameCube, but we played it on the Wii. That was my first Pokemon game that I ever played. And I really like this one. It's very cute. My favorites, obviously are going to be the bears. My mom wrapped my gifts this year in this really cute dinosaur wrapping paper. And I just loved it so much that I had to put it in here. This is my Christmas Eve and December 23rd. Because we went and looked at lights, and then my best friend came over and we celebrated Christmas Eve together because we couldn't go to my grandma's this Christmas Eve, which is why we're going New Year's Eve, I think. Whatever this Saturday is, that this is uploaded. These are the Christmas movies we usually watch. Christmas movies. Gremlins, Christmas Vacation, and Christmas Story, and Die Hard. Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. And then I watched Rambo for the first time. It came on after Scrooged, I think, and my dad was like, yeah, it's a Christmas movie. It takes place, they have a sign that says Merry Christmas, so duh, it's a Christmas movie. I was like, okay. And then I watched the whole thing and cried like a baby, which is fine. This was the Christmas Day entry, and then I'll probably just do going to see my grandparents and the rest of my family, and then like a New Year's thing. So I've got all these pages left, so I'm not worried about only having a regular weeks again next year. I don't think I'll need a mega, but if I end up needing one, then I guess I can just get the extra little notebooks. We'll just have to see how it goes. I am going to cover this up because that's, of course, my name and stuff. But this is what the back cover looks like here. And then I just have a Dunkin' Donuts thing. And, yeah, I keep my stencil board kind of tucked right here. I can get it back in there. And I've been using this Micron Pigma pen. And that's what my weeks looked like this year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you're having a good day, and I hope you have a happy new year, and I hope you had a good holiday. Bye.